We continue the UFC talk, and we want to know, among all the active fighters, who is the biggest star? No John Jones? Rousey done for a minute? Conor McGregor taking time off? So who is the UFC going to lean on?
You know, this is an interesting question, and I really had, normally names jump off the page, like the ones you mentioned. And I started to think, like, of all the current champions, great fighters, popular fighters, but not necessarily guys or women that just jump off and fly off the handle.
Not real star power.
No, like Robbie Lawler, if he was still champ at 170, I would have put him in that mix. We talked about the Cowboy. He's super popular in the UFC and among that fan base, the fighting, the hardcore fan base. But I still look at it like a Paige Van Zandt. I mean, Paige Van Zandt right now, she's a huge star in the UFC, not necessarily the most successful. It doesn't always translate to titles.
Got destroyed last time out.
Right, but she's headlining events.
Okay.
Right? Amanda Nunes, I mentioned her earlier. Her star is on the ascent. Huge. And right now, the Lioness could be arguably, in her mind, one of the more dominant champions in any weight class right now for her at 135. If she gets 2 belts at 145, she could be the queen of 2 of the 3 women's divisions. I mean, that's rather impressive. Joanna Jędrzejczyk, a great champion, but like worldwide, huge in Europe, big in the UFC, but not exactly that figure that the UFC is looking for right now to drive home pay-per-views. I still look at Nate Diaz. And you put Nate on any card right now, he's going to headline that card. 3 years ago, that wouldn't be the case. Because of the popularity against Conor McGregor, you could put Nate Diaz, if you can get him off the couch in Stockton, and he could be your headline.
Pay him a lot of money.
Right? Yeah. Right. I mean, it's tough to do these days because it seems like he's content with making his money, eating his Cheetos, and having a good time with whatever else he's doing. And just kind of riding off into the sunset. He'll come back and fight because he loves to fight. There are star fighters out there.
We waited for you to mention the champ who knocked off the Dominator, Cody Garbrandt.
I love Cody Garbrandt.
Come on, man. I mean, he made short work of Dominic Cruz.
He might be, right now, the biggest star on the rise.
Okay.
And again, out of all the champions, I'd say right now he's the most popular. I'm sorry, Daniel Cormier. I love DC, but people are excited to watch Cody Garbrandt fight. Why? Because of the style.
He embarrassed him in his fight.
He sure did. And he's stand up, and you saw, when you're taking Dominic Cruz down to the mat, who does that? Cody Garbrandt does. So he's stylistically a guy that people love to watch. Now that he's a champ at 135, people know who he is. A year ago, they really didn't. I think Cody Garbrandt has the chance to be the biggest star after this calendar year is done. If he runs the table in 2017, and that's a big, big if. If he does, he'll be, as I called him when he came up, the American Conor McGregor.
Okay.
Because of the look. He doesn't talk like Conor. Nobody talks like Conor. But I can tell you this. If he's at 135 and he wipes out the division, which is a big if, but Dominic Cruz was the overwhelming champ at 135.
And he made it look easy.
And there wasn't a whole lot of competition. I could see a scenario, hear me out on this, where Conor McGregor says, I'm cleaning house at 155. I'm never going back up to 170. Those boys are just too big.
Okay.
Jose Aldo's there at 145, but I've already beaten him. Hey, Cody, you and your tattoos.
Come on up.
You come on up to 145. I'll come back down to the division where I was still champ. I just gave away the belt to Aldo because I rolled out to 155.
You know how upset Aldo would be if
he got
McGregor went back down and that happened?
But see, Conor calling his shots could say, I already beat Jose Aldo. You want the biggest fight of 2017? Garbrandt, Conor McGregor. That would be massive. Now, look, he's got to beat TJ Dillashaw. If he beats TJ Dillashaw, then you could actually make that claim that he's wiped out the 135s.
Okay.
That is no easy task, and that's who's next for Garbrandt. That's the way it appears it's going to be.
Yep.
And that would be a hellacious fight.
Absolutely.
But if he beats TJ Dillashaw, yeah, I could see a scenario where we say, let's meet at 145. Conor, come on down 10. I'll go up 10. And guess what that fight would be? Must-see pay-per-view buys through the roof. 2 guys standing and trading. Don't want to go down to the mat. Everybody loves to see that in mixed martial arts. That should just be called boxing inside the octagon.
Yeah.
Right? With some kicks thrown in.
So that means we wouldn't get Floyd Mayweather then if we get McGregor and Garbrandt, right? Because, I mean, you're lining that up for 2017.
Never say never to Conor and Floyd.
And you're talking about boxing.
So, right. Because, he's got a boxing license now. Conor does.
California?
Yeah, California.
Yeah.
So, and then Nate just got a boxing license.
Yeah.
And then Manny Pacquiao threw his hat in the ring. Now he wants to fight. You hear this? I mean, it's crazy. Everybody that wants to get a shot at Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
But don't pass up the opportunity, possibly, if they want to stay in the octagon instead of the squared circle of boxing, Cody Garbrandt and Conor McGregor about a year away.
That would be intriguing for sure.